Good afternoon. Today's class we are going to continue about the physical features of India. So previous class we learnt about the peninsular plateau and also the major the two divisions of the peninsular plateau such as the central highland and the Deccan plateau also belong. And also we learnt about the western Ghats and the eastern Ghats and the difference between the western Ghats and eastern Ghats also, and with we learned with a bit detail and also some of the highest peaks which are located in the both Ghats also. So all those things we are learned in the previous class, and today's class we are going to learn about the Indian desert. The Indian desert. See, the Indian desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. So lies in western, understood. So the Indian desert is a lies towards western margins of the Aravalli. Understood. So the Indian desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. It is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes. Understood? So the Indian desert is covered with sand dunes. See, this region receives very low rainfall. It receives very low rainfall. Get it, dear students? So the Indian desert and this area it receives very low rainfall. It is about 150 millimeter per year. It's about 150 millimeter per year. 150 millimeter per year. It has arid climate with low vegetation cover. So the climate is arid and is covered with low vegetation. Understood? So it's covered very, because we know the reason, because it is a desert. So that's why there we cannot see the highest vegetation. So it has arid climate and with low vegetation cover. Soon after, they disappear into the sand as they do not have enough water to reach the sea. So, Luni, it is only the Luni, it is the only larger river in this region. Luni, this is only the larger river in this. Getting these students. So Luni is one of the larger river in this region. So here there we can say bacchans or barchans. That means crescent shaped dunes. Crescent shaped dunes that cover larger areas, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near the Indo-Pakistan boundary. The Indo-Pakistan boundary. Suppose if you visit Jaisalmer, you may go to see a group of batches, that is crescent shaped dunes. So it is about the Indian desert. Got it, dear students? So actually the Indian desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills, and it's covered with the sand dunes, and it receives very low rainfall, that is about 150 millimeter per year, and it has arid climate. It has arid climate with low vegetation, and Luni is one of the larger river. Okay, and Barkans, that means crescent shaped dunes that cover large areas, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near the Indo-Pakistan boundary. If suppose if you are visit to Jaisalmer, that you can identify or you can see the group of these bar chains are crescent shaped dunes. So this is all about the Indian desert. Now let us discuss about the coastal plains. The coastal plains, which is one of the last major physiographic or physical division of our country. The coastal highlands. See, the peninsular plateau is flanked by a stretch of narrow coastal strips. Got it now? The peninsular plateau is flanked by stretch of narrow coastal strips running along the Arabian Sea on the west and Bay of Bengal on the east. Arabian Sea in the west and Bay of Bengal in the east. See, the western coast sandwiched between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. Got it, dear students? The western coast sandwiched between Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea is a narrow plain. It consists of three sections. The western coast consists of three. So it consists of three coasts. Getting now? So this actually called as the northern part of the coast. The northern part of the coast is called as Konkan. So it is actually Mumbai, Goa. And the second one, the northern part of this coast is called the Konkan, and the next, the central stretch. So the northern coast, it is called Konkan, that is Mumbai and Goa, and central is the second. So it is called, the central stretch is called the Kanna plain. The Kanna plain. Understood? And afterwards, the southern stretch of the western coast, the southern stretch of the western coast is referred as the Malabar coast. The Malabar coast. Very dear students. So, the western Ghats and the Arabian Sea between, that is a narrow plain, and it consists of three sections. And the northern part of the western coast, it is called Konkan, which is including Mumbai and Goa. And the central parts of this western coast is called Kannad Plain, and the southern western coast, so it's referred as the Malabar coast. See, the plains along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level. Put it down. The plains along the Bay of Bengal. That means in the eastern coast. So the eastern coasts are wide and level. Eastern coast along with Bay of Bengal. It is wide and level. Wide and level. See, in the northern part, it is referred to the northern Sarkar. So the northern part is referred as northern Sarkar. Even discovered as a sidecar or seeker also. Sidecar, northern sidecar. Okay. And southern part. So the southern part is known as Coromandel Coast. The southern coast is known as Coromandel coast. So the northern part referred as northern Sarkar, and the southern part is referred as Coromandel coast. See here, large rivers such as Mahanadi, Godavari, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Krishna and Kaveri. These are some of the important large rivers which have formed extensive delta on this coast. Understood now? So these rivers are formed extensive delta on this eastern coast, such as Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri river. And the another one important, that is Lake Chilika. So Lake Chilika is an important feature along the eastern coast. That is about Lake Chilika. So Lake Chilika, it is an important feature along the eastern coast. So it is about the coastal plains. Got it, dear students? So the coastal plains, especially the peninsular plateau, is flanked by stretched the narrow coastal stripes running along Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal in the east. See, the western coast sandwiched between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea, and it is a narrow plain. So it consists of three sections. The northern part of this western coast is called Konkan coast, which is including Mumbai and Goa, and the central stretch is called Kannad plain, and the southern stretch is known as the Malabar coast. And the plains along the Bay of Bengal, that is the eastern coast. So the eastern coasts are wide and level. So in the northern part, it is referred as northern Sayaka, and in the southern part, it is known as Coromandel coast. Got it now? So here the large rivers such as the river Mahanadi, the river Godavari and the Krishna and Kaveri. So these rivers are formed extensive delta on this eastern coast. And also dear students, the Lake Chilika, it is an important feature along the eastern coast. So it is about the coastal plains. Now let us discuss about the islands. The islands. The islands. See, all of you knows that already India has a vast mainland. India has a vast mainland. So besides this, the country has also two groups of islands. Two groups of islands. See, these you can identify very easily. So that is about Lakshadweep Islands, Lakshadweep Island. So these groups lying close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. So these Lakshadweep Island groups are lying close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. And this group of island is composed of small coral islands. So this group of island is composed of small coral islands. So these the small coral islands were known as Lacadive. So these small islands were known as Lacadive, Minikoi, and Amindai. Understood now? So in 1973, these were named as Lakshadweep. So these were named as Lakshadweep. So before these were known as Lacadive, Minikoi, understood, and Amindai. So these island groups were very close. These island groups are lying close to the Malabar coast of Kerala, and these are actually composed of small coral islands. In the earlier, they were known as Lacadive, Minikoi, and Amindai. So in 1973, so these island groups, these were named as Lakshadweep Highlands. Got it now? See, it covers small areas of 32 square kilometers. 32 square kilometers. It's a covered small area. And Kavarati Highland is the administrative headquarter of the Lakshadweep. Kavarati is actually Kavarati Island is the administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep Island groups. So these island groups has great diversity of flora and fauna. The Pitti Island, which is uninhabited as a bird sanctuary. So here one of the island which is called as Pitti. So it is actually uninhabited one. Uninhabited one, and it has a bird sanctuary. Got it now? Now afterwards, dear students, You see that the elongated chain of islands located in the Bay of Bengal extending from north to south, and these are known as Andaman Nicobar Islands. So these are known as Andaman Nicobar Islands. So this is about the Lakshadweep. Now let us discuss about the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. See, the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands located in the Bay of Bengal. Located in the Bay of Bengal. Okay. See, this Bay of Bengal extending from north to south, and these are known as Andaman and Nicobar Islands. See, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are bigger in size and more numerous and scattered. Bigger in size and more numerous and scattered. Got it now? So, the Andaman Nicobar Islands are bigger in size and more numerous and scattered. See, the entire group of island, I mean the group of this island, it's divided into two broad categories. It's divided into two broad categories. The entire island group are divided into two broad categories. The Andaman in the south and the Nicobar in the south. The Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. So the in the south is called Andaman, and in the north, I'm sorry dear students, not south, the north it's called Andaman and south it's called Nicobar. So these group of islands are broadly categorized into two. These two broad categories are, so north, that is called Andaman, and south group it's called Nicobar. So these are the two broad categories, the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. See, it is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. Understood now? So it is believed that these Andaman Nicobar island groups are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. These island groups are of great strategic importance for the country. There is a great diversity of flora and fauna, and even in this group of islands also. So these islands lie close to equator and experience equatorial climate and has a thick forest cover also. I hope dear students, you all of you understood about the islands, especially the Lakshadweep island groups and then Andaman Nicobar island groups. So these are some of the important physiographic divisions of our country, such as the Himalayan ranges, the Great Plains, the Peninsular Plateau, the Indian deserts, the coastal plains, and the islands. See, a detailed account of the different physiographic units highlights the unique features of each region. It would, however, be clear that each region complements the other and makes the country richer in its natural resources. The mountains are the major sources of water and forest wealth. The northern plains are the great I mean, they are the very great plains and they provided the granaries for the entire country. They provide the base for early civilizations also. The plateau is a storehouse of minerals which has played a crucial role in the industrialization of our country. The coastal regions and island groups provides sites for fishing and port activities also. Thus, dear students, the diverse physical features of land have immense future possibilities of development. So, it's are very much important. I hope, dear students, you all have understood this chapter. Even if you have any doubts, you can call me and then clear your doubt. So, this lesson is over. Thank you. Have a nice day.